Welcome to this explainer. If you take just a moment to really stop and think about it, human life is essentially this beautiful, incredibly intricate collection of choices, right? Some of those choices are completely fleeting. They last for just a single moment and then they're gone. But others quietly and subtly shape the very years of our lives. They weave together almost like threads to form the entire tapestry of our personal stories. So today, we're going to explore the deep psychology behind these choices, the ever-changing nature of our relationships, and how we actually navigate these massive transitions that define the human experience.
So, let's dive right into this. I want to ask you to just pause for a second and reflect. Which of your choices have quietly shaped the years of your life? Really think about it. Maybe it was choosing a specific career path, building a lasting friendship, becoming a parent, or committing yourself to a deeply meaningful relationship. See, these aren't just random events. They are profound decisions that literally become woven into who we are. They define our whole narrative.
Section 1. Freedom and Belonging.
Now, to truly understand our choices, we first have to look at what's basically a foundational tension in the human experience, and that is our drive for independence versus our fundamental hardwired need for connection. On one side, we seek freedom. We desperately want to make our own choices and live a life that actually feels authentic to who we are. But on the other side, we have this undeniable longing for belonging. We crave love, companionship, emotional security, meaningful human connection. And when we examine these two desires side by side, it is so easy to just assume they're at war with one another.
But here's the thing. The truth is, these desires are absolutely not opposites. They coexist within all of us. And our relationships, well, they are often our greatest teachers when it comes to navigating this delicate coexistence. They teach us patience, empathy, trust, understanding. They constantly remind us that happiness isn't just about crossing the finish line alone with our individual achievements, but it's about the bonds we create along the way. But because we are constantly trying to balance this freedom and belonging, relationships can also present incredibly difficult questions. Questions that honestly simply do not have easy or universal answers.
Section 2. When paths evolve.
Because we are constantly navigating these complex desires, our relationships are inherently dynamic. People grow, priorities naturally evolve over time, circumstances shift, and life, as we all know, occasionally takes unexpected turns that we literally could never have predicted. Change itself is neither good nor bad. It's simply one of life's realities. As we journey through life, some of our relationships will become so much stronger and deeper with time. But others, they might change their form entirely as people continue on their own individual journeys. Growth naturally brings evolution.
So how exactly do we navigate that evolution? Well, we often misunderstand freedom and responsibility as opposing forces, kind of like a tug-of-war. But in psychology, we learn that meaningful relationships are built on commitment. And commitment isn't just about making promises. It involves mutual respect and a deep awareness that our choices actually influence others. Freedom allows us to make meaningful choices, sure, but responsibility encourages us to consider the ripples those choices create. Human flourishing is found not in choosing independence over duty, but in learning how to beautifully honor both.
Because our decisions create these profound ripples, life doesn't always unfold perfectly according to our expectations. Sometimes individuals have to make incredibly difficult, deeply personal decisions regarding their relationships, decisions shaped by complexities that outsiders rarely, if ever, get to see. One of those significant life transitions is divorce. Now, divorce is often discussed purely as a legal process, right? But in reality, it is primarily a psychological, emotional, and social experience. It invites individuals to adapt, to heal, and to completely redefine their personal journeys.
And psychology reminds us of something fascinating here. Two individuals can experience the exact same event completely differently. For one person, a transition like divorce might represent the profound beginning of healing, self-discovery, and amazing personal growth. But for another person, it may bring profound sadness, uncertainty, or just a really difficult period of emotional adjustment. What feels like a wave of relief to one may feel like a devastating loss to another, and neither experience diminishes the reality of the other. Empathy allows us to appreciate that human emotions are rarely simple.
So instead of reducing all this human complexity to simple black and white judgments, instead of asking if leaving or staying is universally right or wrong, we should really use a psychological mirror. Our individuals being treated with dignity and respect, our important responsibilities being acknowledged, our decisions being approached with honesty, empathy, and genuine care, because that is where true thoughtfulness lies during life's most complex transitions.
Section 3. The emotional world of children.
When families experience major change, adults might intellectually understand the complicated reasons behind it. But children? They experience these shifts from an entirely different, highly vulnerable perspective. They don't always grasp abstract adult concepts like marriage, divorce, or separation. What they do understand is beautifully simple: love, emotional safety, and connection. They recognize familiar voices, comforting daily routines, shared moments of joy, and the reassuring presence of the people they love. Their understanding of relationships isn't expressed through complex words. It's expressed purely through feelings.
Because of this, during periods of transition, children hold on to so many quiet, unspoken questions. Will things remain the same? Am I still deeply loved? Can I continue to feel safe and supported? These questions might never be spoken aloud, but they are constantly echoing within the emotional world of a child during a family transition.
Yet there is something incredibly encouraging about the foundations of a child's psychological well-being. Notice what isn't required: perfect circumstances, flawless families. In fact, psychological research shows that a child's resilience isn't tied to having a picture-perfect life. Children do not require perfection. They benefit the absolute most from environments where they simply feel respected, valued, and emotionally secure. Affection, consistency, availability, and support, these are the things that actually matter.
And this brings us to a deeply comforting psychological truth. Family structures may evolve, but the importance of nurturing children remains timeless. No matter how a family changes its shape or form over time, emotional presence, kindness, encouragement, and meaningful involvement will always play invaluable roles in a child's development. Love is what anchors them, plain and simple.
Section 4. Our beautiful responsibility.
We are independent individuals who make our own choices, yet those choices inevitably become part of the stories of everyone around us. Human freedom matters. Human responsibility matters. Compassion absolutely matters. Look, relationships will change. People will grow in unexpected ways. Life will undoubtedly invite us to make incredibly difficult decisions for reasons that are known only to those who are actually living them. But whatever path people ultimately choose to walk, empathy and thoughtfulness remain humanity's absolute greatest strengths.
So, I want to leave you with this powerful, introspective question. Perhaps wisdom lies not in asking whether people should always stay or always leave, but in asking, are we living with honesty, kindness, and consideration for ourselves and others? Because being human isn't just about making choices. It's about understanding the quiet, lasting impact those choices may have on the lives we touch along our journey. And that truly is one of life's most beautiful responsibilities.
Thank you for watching Beautiful Mind. Every meaningful conversation helps us understand ourselves and others a little better. If this journey of psychology, human behavior, and personal growth resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Beautiful Mind. Join us in the next episode as we continue exploring the fascinating world of the human mind, one beautiful thought at a time.